This episode is brought to you by Peloton. For Peloton's December offer, head to onepeloton.com/offers.
I'm always going to defend myself, but I try to do it in a respectful manner because I want the ending to be resolution.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of On Display. I'm actually really excited about today's episode. You guys know I love when I get a good Real Housewife on. So I have a Real Housewife of OC today, but she's a true East Coast girl who's just living on the West Coast. She's a mom, she's an entrepreneur, and she's recently added podcast host to her resume. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have Gina Kirschenheiter.
Wow, you even nailed my last name. Good job, Melissa. Woo woo.
I tried so hard.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Did I? I try to make the EN go in there. Kirschenheiter. Is that good?
To use all 14 letters. It's pretty good. I mean, honestly, it took me a minute to figure out, to spell it too. It took me a while. My poor kids are still trying to spell their own name.
I know. They have one of those long last names. My kids always had it easy. It's like Gorga. So easy. It was easy.
So easy. I know.
How are you?
Good. I honestly, I feel like there's a part of me that is still recovering from BravoCon, even though it was a minute ago. I'm just still recovering. And then now going into the holidays, I'm just all holiday mode. Go, 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 go. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. I feel like I have an event literally every single day this week. It's like a holiday party. And then my friends also they have their holiday parties, but then they do their business holiday parties that they also invite us to. And I'm like, oh, how many parties do you get per season? Because I have other 3 friends that are also having it's insanity. So, and it's we live so close to New York. Yeah. And it's New York, New York, New York, New York.
Yeah. At least my stuff, I have the same pain point, but I don't really it's not, LA is not the same draw. It's different when you're in Jersey or Long Island. Everything's in Manhattan. Here, most of my stuff is still in Orange County. So at least they're local.
So you're originally from Long Island. How long ago did you move to the OC?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Long Island. I moved to Orange County now. I want to say it was 8 years ago, I think. Yeah, 8 years ago. Yeah, because I had only been here for not even 2 years when I got on the show.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. Yeah. So you were a new OC girl.
I was a Long Islander. Yeah.
Right.
I was a total Long Islander, and I had no idea about any of this world or whatever, and just kind of happened to me. And now I am, it's I blinked and I'm like, oh, this has been 6 years of my life. And it's basically been the majority of me living on the West Coast. So it's kind of it goes hand in hand for me now, I guess, with my West Coast identity. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. You really jumped right in there. Well, are the holidays, I mean, you moved to the West Coast and then you're on the show and you are labeled an OC girl for the rest of your life. Yeah. That's it. It's people don't even want to hear the word Long Island from you anymore.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. But actually, I'm very thankful because sometimes I feel it's almost better to be on the West Coast and representing the East Coast. It's when you're in the place where you live, then the people where you live too, they tend to kind of hate on you a little bit, I feel like. But for me, because I'm not there, I get so much East Coast love, and that's nice. And I'm oh, if I was on New York, they'd probably hate me,
You know what? That is so true because you didn't grow up there and they kind of feel it's almost like how Lisa Vanderpump or any Dorit, all of these girls who even come from London or wherever and they have the accents, no matter what, they're winning because it's they're not winning. From Beverly Hills, right? They're
they're
from
different.
Somewhere else.
Yes. Yeah, it's a unicorn. It's you're mixing it up. So you get bonus positive credit for mixing stuff up, for bringing a different flavor to it. But I also want to say Dorit is definitely not from England. She's from the United States. That accent,
is she?
I don't know what that is.
I always wondered that, and I never asked. I feel like she has a little accent going on there, doesn't she? Like a little something, something.
Well, she does. She must have caught it from her husband.
Yes, exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what I'm hearing. And she's picking it up a little bit from PK, but for some reason, I always feel like she was not born in America. I don't know why.
Because she doesn't sound like she was. Yeah, I always thought that was kind of
Exactly.
funny when I found that out. But Travis definitely has not caught a Long Island accent, so I
Because
don't think it's
so
that
Travis,
contagious.
he is from OC.
Yes, yes. My ex-husband Matt, we grew up together in Long Island. And then Travis is from Orange County. He's from Yorba Linda. Yeah, born and raised. I never thought I would like be with an Orange County guy, but he kind of like is
Aren't
different than the rest of them.
is it very different being with an first of all, you guys have been together for what, like 4 years now?
Yeah, a bit over. Yeah, a bit over 4 years. It's been a minute. Great. He's like a very sweet
Is
guy. Like the guys here are like so nice. They're so sweet. They're just like, well, it depends on where you are. Like the Newport guys, that's not my bag. But just like the Cali guys that are not like representing like Newport or those like bougier neighborhoods, they're just like sweet guys, like nice, sweet guys. And definitely they're just like so different than like East Coast guys. And nothing against, I married an East Coast guy, but when you come here, you're just like, you're so nice. It's just different. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's the way they speak to you. I think it's all in like the demeanor, and just like I feel like that definitely feels different. I say that about my podcast producer Brett, who's listening right now. I just think they just have a different way, like a different approach. Like he's just calming and sweet, and like I feel like he
Yes,
could
yeah,
tell when
I
I want to
agree.
like be a bitch, or like, I'm not in the mood. And he's like, it's okay. He just like keeps me calm. And I'm like, Joe and I would be screaming at each other right
Yes,
now.
and that is so true because yes, they just allow you like with Travis, I'm just like always losing my mind, but he's like steady. And I think that was part of the problem in my previous relationship is like we're too fiery, the two of us, and we kind of
Yes.
got too
Yes.
far out of balance. And then also like, you and then you mix that in with like we just weren't compatible, like you and Joe are compatible, so you could make it through the fiery parts where we
Right.
were not. So it just made it the worst case scenario for us. But yeah, the West Coast guys are just they're just kind of like, what is happening right now? I don't really are you having some sort of a stroke? I'm just gonna let you kind of move through this and I'll be
Are
here
you
for you
having a
when you come back.
stroke?
Yes. When you come back, I will be here for you. I love that about
That is
Travis.
me. When I am mad, that is such a good way to explain it. It looks like I'm having a stroke, literally. that,
Something's
that is the
happening.
funniest
Bless.
thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but it's true.
We
Like
come back.
Joe is a Leo. I'm an Aries. If we have an argument, oh my God, like we are like, neither of us will back down, and we like have to keep speaking and speaking and get the last word and like prove our point. But it's true that at the end of the day, we're in love, right? And like we're
Right.
compatible and we want the same things. So we just like somebody just gives in and we just shut up. Um,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's just the way it goes, or until like we have sex or something, if I'm being totally honest. And then it's like,
Yeah.
all right, forget it. We're good.
That
It's
fixes
like,
everything. Yes.
am I
It's
the
like,
only
all right,
couple
we're
that
back.
that works for? Do you guys do that when you get into an argument? If you just have sex, the fight's over.
I always try to pull that card because, like, obviously, I'm also admitting that I'm usually on the wrong side of it. Not on the wrong side necessarily of the initial argument, but then the way I choose to handle it, I'm generally on the wrong side of it. So that's like a very good go to for, like, let's just, I don't really want to, I'll say I'm sorry, but like in a playful way. And now I'm going to seduce you to like just make it all go away and be nice. And I don't really want to have to, I hate that like when you're really wrong and then like you say you're sorry, whatever, but then like they're going to reserve some anger for a little bit of time. And I feel like the getting in the bedroom eliminates that like 2 day of like you have to feel bad and walk on eggshells. It's like, let's just get this over with.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's
clear the
usually, I
air.
will say, like, soon as that happens, it's like, all right, look, we love each other. This is like stupid. Like, we just like let it go. You know,
Right. And
I
you just
always,
let it
and
go.
I used to get mad at that though. I used to get so annoyed because I'm like, oh, look, you just want to have sex. So like now I'm good and I'm not mad and it works. And I used to get frustrated, but I'm like, no, what? Screw that. Come on, let's go have sex. Everything will be better in a little bit.
Like, let's just let it be done. We know we love each other. We were both out of bounds. Let's just move on.
Exactly. Well, that's good. You have a nice OC boy who's chill and calm and makes you happy. So you guys are doing good.
We're doing good. Yeah, we're doing good. We're steady, which I like.
Which is awesome. How are your kids?
Yeah.
Are they loving OC? Are they adjusted to living there? Are they happy?
Yeah, so two of my kids were born on Long Island, and then I moved here pregnant with Luca, my third. And so it's funny to me, and they were all like, I had three and under. So it was, very crazy for a while, but it's funny to me that my kids are truly California kids. That's a weird thing. They're different than me. And you and I know, like, Jersey and New York, I don't know why it's always like two states always kind of couple together. So to me, especially moving away from New York, it's like when you live in Jersey or New York and you're there and you live there, it's kind of like Jersey and New York are rivals. But when you move out, Jersey is like your people still. So to me now it's like Jersey and New York, those are all my people, And
right.
I love it. So they becomes one thing. I'm like protective over all of it. And so it's funny to me because when you're from there, it is like a very unique, special place that it's just not like anything else. It's like people from Texas. They're like people from the South. They're from the South. People from New York and Jersey. They're from New York and Jersey. And my kids are so freaking California. I'm like, when we lived on the East Coast, my kids got Nicholas got a haircut every 2 weeks, and he was a toddler, and
right.
He's walking around with this long hair, and he's like saying all these weird things, which is also like obviously generational, but like a lot of it is because he's so West Coast. I'm like, who are you people? It's just so funny to me, and they don't have accents.
They have nothing. Do you like? Do you miss like hearing the accents?
I do. Like that's why, even when we're at BravoCon and everything, I just gravitate towards all of the cast members that are from the East Coast because it does make me, if I'm comfortable with it and it feels like home to me, like you feel like home,
Right. Yes. No, I know. You're so great. Even when I met you, like obviously we didn't know each other that well, but I feel like you were so like you and I just vibed. You're very down to earth. You're just like you're an easy girl. I can tell. You're one of our people. You're definitely an easy breezy girl. You were so sweet when I met you. Guys, I want to take a moment to tell you about this extremely fashionable clothing line called Loft. Loft is back and better than ever with a collection of fun, feminine fashion. Loft has orchestrated a modern mix of all day, any day pieces that offer endless versatility. We're talking plays on proportion, soft, touchable textures, exciting new ways to layer, with ideas on how to effortlessly put together and pull off your latest have-to-have styles. Guys, Loft has some really cute and trendy pieces. The pieces touch on the season's most relevant trends and are always offered at a great price. Loft has all the essentials for holiday outfitting, just the right sweaters, dresses, and outerwear for all of your festive occasions. There are fun pant silhouettes to choose from, flirty tops, midi skirts, and even sweater dresses. Plus, their holiday gift guide is out, which is so helpful to make Loft your go-to check everybody off your list destination this holiday. And they have so much variety, both in-store and online. They offer a mix of gifts under $35, festive finds, and merry sweaters. New arrivals drop all the time, so be sure to check them out. As a thank you for listening, from now through January 1st, 2024, use code Melissa in all caps at loft.com to receive $25 off your full price purchase. Exclusions apply. See podcast description for terms. As moms, we're juggling a million things, right? And taking care of everyone else often has us forgetting ourselves. Now is the time to regain a little you time with some needed self-care with Dime Beauty. Dime Beauty is clean, high-end skincare that is affordable, and it really works. Dime didn't sacrifice performance just to make it clean either. And when I say clean, Dime is 100% transparent about every single ingredient, so you can use their products daily with confidence. Guys, I'm always running around, so I wanted to take all of the guesswork out of my routine. So I started with their Works collection. I don't have to remember the order of a 10-step routine. No one has time for that. The Work system is everything you need in one powerful package. It includes a gentle cleanser, a toner, 2 incredible serums, and 2 luxurious moisturizers. And trust me, it's called the Works because it actually works. Dime has over 2 million happy customers, and their product reviews are literally all 5 stars. If you haven't checked out Dime, where have you even been? Love your skin again. Go to dimebeautyco.com now and unlock your discount. That's dimebeautyco.com. What is your casting story? How did you get casted on OC? Like, who did someone slide in your DMs? Like, what was your situation?
No, because honestly, I didn't even have Instagram. I had a Facebook, and I had a private Facebook. I had 200 something people that I followed and followed me back. I had moved here and I had lived here for about a year and a half, and then met after about a year of living here, I met who is now one of my best friends in the world, Tatiana. And she's from, her husband Kyle's from Jersey. She's from New York. So we hit it off immediately. And we were very fast friends because we clicked, super comfortable East Coasters living on the West Coast, but we didn't know everything about each other because we hadn't known each other that long. So we felt like we knew each other that forever, but we didn't. And then we were hanging out. We both lived in Kodo, came to find, and Kodo's where all the housewife stuff originated. And I'm such a jing tong, honestly, Melissa. When I was moving to Kodo, I wanted to move there because my ex's boss lived there, and we came here a week before we moved here. It was the first time I had ever been to California. And we went to dinner at his house, and I was like, I love this community. It was very flourished and big trees, and all the houses were different. And it reminded me of the East Coast. And that's why I wanted to live there. And so I told my girlfriends from home, I was like, I'm moving to this place. It's called Coto de Casa. And we're buying a house, whatever. And my friend Pam was like, oh shit, Gina, that's where the housewives live. And I was like, no, that's Kodo. And they're like, yeah, Coto de Casa. And, I don't even know how to say anything. So I'm on the highway, calling my ex, I don't know where I am. I'm on La Jolla.
Right.
Spanish. And it's just not the way it is there. I had no idea what was going on. So I'm like, oh my God. And then I thought that was exciting, because I watched the shows like a normal mom at home, whatever, was a fan, but not a super fan. And I was like, oh, that would be so funny. My friends are like, oh, you're going to be the next housewife. I'm like, yeah, right. I drive a minivan. I'm not going to clearly be the next housewife. We're just getting started. We're a young couple. I felt privileged just to even live there. Long story short, Tatiana was having this party. I remember it was for Advocare. Do you remember that? It was vitamins.
Advocare. Yes. Thing. Yes.
Okay.
I know it very well.
Okay. So Tamra was a spokesperson at the time for Advocare, and she was friends with Tatiana. I didn't even know that. I was like, you're friends with Tamara from the show? I was like, this is so cool. She's like, yeah, I'm having a party for Advocare. Do you want to come? I was like, well, I don't really give a shit about your vitamins, but I want to meet Tamara, right? So that was the highlight of my week, So I'm like, let's go to this party. I remember sitting with Tamara. I remember she spilled the tea about all the cast members that were on.
Oh yeah, she'll just go.
Yeah, so this is the best thing ever. She was like, you should audition. I was like, what's an audition? And I was like, no.
Oh, so you met Tamara first, and then
Tamara, yes.
Got it.
But she didn't even do it. It was Tot was auditioning because she was friends with her. And I remember I was like, this is the best thing that ever happened. This is so exciting. I was just helping Tot. All we knew about the show was you have to have that background. So we're like, all right, I went to the store with her. We bought stuff from Home Goods, set up her background. We picked out the best sequin dress she had. We're like, we're gonna nail this. She did this interview, and then after that, it was the Skype, and then they push you through, and you have to fill out an application. And on the application, there was a spot if you know anybody else who you think would be good or interested. She put my name and number, and they called.
And then they called.
And then 2 months later, I was on the show. It was just wild.
Meant to be.
Yeah, it really it must have been, because it's just the way everything rolls out with life. And, I had a lot of issues already going on in my marriage. I did not offer up any of that to
Oh,
production
really?
because I was not trying to I was like, I'm not telling these people my, demons or whatever. And a lot of this stuff, like my ex had an affair, but it had happened like a year, like a 8 months maybe ish prior to any of this happening. And my point of view was, we're trying to work through this. This is where I'm at. I'm not going to like sell my soul for this. I'm not going to like tell them these things like that. I wasn't trying to get on
Right.
the show, which is probably why I got on the show. Cause I was just like being myself, and
Wait,
then
wait, wait, wait. So your husband, you guys moved to OC for him for his job. And then when he got to the OC is when the affair happened. He met her when you moved to
mm-hmm,
the new state across the country.
yeah. So I like picked
Oh,
up my
wow.
whole life, moved across the country to support my husband, and
Of
start this
course.
life. And then like pretty shortly after that happened, and it like rocked my whole world. And so like also honestly, I never thought I was going to get on the show, but when I did audition for it, and now all of a sudden I had these, you know how that process is, right? With the producers, and you
Yes.
keep like kind of leveling up. All of a sudden it was like these people saw who I was like prior to all of this depressing, horrible stuff that was going on in my life that nobody knew about, not even my own parents. Like I didn't say anything to anyone. And it was kind of like, oh my God, it like helped me get my confidence back. Like I was like, wait, these people, they see me, they think I'm funny, they think I'm great. And I was kind of like, wait, I am great, and it
Right.
felt good. And that's why I wanted to keep doing it, honestly, because it just made me feel good at a time that I felt horrible, honestly, about everything else going on
Well,
privately in
of
my
course, it's
life.
exciting. It's something new. It's like when
Yeah.
things are low, this is like a high. Well, it's almost like getting a new job after you have a breakup. It's like something new, just something exciting. I mean, joining
Yeah.
Housewives is an exciting thing to do. So I'm actually in shock. Oh, well, I get it now because I was going to say I'm in shock you didn't just get your kids and move back to Long Island, but if you're going to be on the OC Housewives, that makes sense why you didn't do that, right?
Well, it was, yes, but prior to that, these were all things that I was considering. I remember I graduated from Hofstra on Long Island, and I worked for the medical school for years for Hofstra because I was going to go back for my master's. And then I got pregnant with Nicholas. So I was like, nope, not doing that no more. I'm just going to be a mom,
Right.
and I'm going to pick a different lane and then kind of sacrifice that for that. But I had at one point called back some of the administrators and whatnot at the school because I was like, I might have to move back. But you know what? It was a horrible decision to me because I'm like, all right, if I do move back, now what? Now he just stays here. He has this big fancy job. He's now got moving on with this chick. And then what? I go live at my parents' house on Long Island and raise my 3 kids and work and, a job that's maybe fulfilling, but not even, you don't even make that much money. It's academia. And then what, my kids don't have a relationship with, they see their dad twice a year. I felt like because now I was here and invested, I was almost like stuck here,
Right.
so having then this opportunity just kind of find me, and I went for it, and somehow they picked me to do this, was like, now I see it. I
Huge.
really think it was a kismet moment. I think it was like the universe giving that to me in a way, because
It
I
was.
needed
It
it.
100%. Like
Yeah.
now that you give me the full story, it was all meant to be. This is how it was supposed to happen. You lost one thing, but then
Yeah.
you gained something else and it was all kind of meant to be. It just meant to be in the OC.
Yeah.
That's I
Meant to
think
be in the
that's
OC. That's right. Yeah. And
Wait
then
a
like when I
second.
was
I
going
was
through it, I didn't tell anyone about it. And then it only came out the next year because I found out because he had left the woman, whatever, but then he was like back with her and I didn't know that. And now I'm like, okay, there's certain things that I could, because I was like, nobody needs to know that. I don't need to hurt my children. This marriage is over anyway. I don't need to discuss that, and then protecting
right.
my kids. And then that's when I made the decision to be open and honest about it because I'm like, there's a lot of things I can do to protect my family and my ex and my kids, but like, I'm not going to sit down on the couch with Andy and him be like, oh, is your ex dating anyone? And me be like, oh yeah, he's dating this great girl. But meanwhile, it's the girl that like destroyed my family. I'm like, this is where
Literally.
I'm out. Yeah.
Right. Well, speaking of Andy, I know that you guys had like a little drama not long ago, right? Something was said or something on Watch What Happens
Yes.
Live about your home. But I have to say, girl,
Yes.
the clap back was pretty amazing. I love the
Thank
empowering
you.
clap back. I mean, so basically it was a question about your home and about like, what was he saying? You could sell your house probably quicker than everyone
For the
else or
least
cheaper.
amount of money.
Okay.
Yes. Than everyone else in the
Okay.
cast. And it was just, you know what? The thing is, I love Andy. You know, we all love Andy. But when you're out of line, you're out of line. And sometimes
Right.
when you're out of line, you know, you need to be put back. And honestly, it's because I respect Andy that I felt that I could clap back to that in a honest but respectful way. And I knew that that was okay because I respect him and because he's a good person, you know? And so like, I wasn't surprised. I literally woke up. That was like the evening prior. I woke up to a text message from Andy apologizing.
Right.
Because that's
Because he
who he
doesn't, when
is,
he's
you
in the
know?
moment and he's there, a
Yeah.
lot of things get said on that show. And he's not even half the time he's listening to what they're saying in his ear for the next thing.
Right.
And he's not even really sure how he just answered it. So I feel like he never really means any harm. And that is so him to text and say, like, I
Mm-mm.
am so sorry. One day he said somebody said something about my mom. I forget what it was, but it was like so not anything that bad, but it was like
Like
it could be taken
innocent.
the wrong way. I forget, and he was like instantly like, "Oh my god, I did not even realize that it came off that way." Or, "Oh, I think she was the jackhole or something for something really silly." But she's like,
Oh,
my mom was so annoyed that she was the jackhole for saying
yes.
something about like she wanted me to be on OnlyFans because Larsa sells her feet on OnlyFans, and my mom texted me and was like, "You need to be on OnlyFans, and you have the most beautiful feet." And like, I guess he said that and he was like, I didn't even realize that it was like the jackhole. Like we didn't even realize we did that. And I believe like they don't. They're just, it's all in
Yeah.
good
I
fun when you're on
mean,
Watch What Happens
yeah.
Live most of the time.
He was, yes. And he was just trying to get, you know, it's a part of our job is that we are, as these groups of women, we're kind of petty to each other, and it is what it is. We take shots at each other, and I think he was just trying to like stoke the fire there a little bit. And I just
Right.
don't, I think it's got to be an incredibly hard job to walk that line, and sometimes you do cross it. I understand that, but I also understand that like he's a human being, so I'm always gonna like defend myself, but I try to do it in a respectful manner because I want the ending to be like resolution, you know?
Uh, yeah. Well, that was nice. So you guys are good now. You're all cleared up. Everything's all good with you and
Hmm.
Andy.
We're good.
Wait,
Yes, it was. I'm not
didn't
gonna lie, it was a little uncomfortable for me at BravoCon because it's the first time I had saw him, and I was like, ooh. Also, when you put this stuff out there, you don't know what's gonna. I was just clearing my conscience. I was like, I just have to say this for me, and
right, right.
and I didn't realize it was gonna catch fire like that. So then it's like once it does, you're just kind of like, ooh, like, and also you don't want to like make your boss upset, or like, nobody wants to like piss off Andy, but
Of course
I
not.
had to do it, and it was a little uncomfortable, but I said hello, and then we were like all good. So I was like, okay,
Okay,
we got
good.
this. But yes.
Wait, and for my listeners who are listening and do not know how she reacted, you literally said like, I'm a single mom and I'm one of the only ones on the show that owns a home. Correct? Isn't that what you
I
said?
think, yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I'm also like 20 years younger than everybody else. You know what
Right.
I
How old
mean?
are
So
you? Do you mind me asking?
no, it's okay. I'm 39.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So
I
yeah,
started the
you're
show when I was
definitely
33.
right. I started at 31. Insane. But
So
yes.
you're like you're not even like an adult yet. I feel like,
Well, no, right at 31 I wasn't to handle this and
right.
to have three little babies under the age of 4. I was like, what am I doing? I'd only been married for like 4 or 5 years. I just felt like I didn't have all the right answers then, and I'm such a different person right now because I've been on the show for 14 years, like than I
Right.
was then. Do you know what I mean? It's just like 13 going on 14 years.
100%.
Yeah. So it's like it's
100%. Yeah,
crazy.
it is. It's wild. 14 years. I can't even imagine.
Could you imagine how many years back and
No.
forth? Like it's been, I think I
Out
got on
there
this
just with a
show in,
hatchet.
yeah, it's rough out here in those streets, in the streets of
For
Jersey.
14 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot. And finally I've gotten to a place, I can honestly tell you, Gina, I've gotten to a place where I'm just like, I'm so like chill about it now. I'm just like, it is what it is. I don't stress anymore. I don't worry about like what haters say. I don't worry about what, the fam thinks. I don't worry about, like, I just do me and what I know I can sleep with at night and live with at night. And like, even with the girlfriends, like going back and forth with the relationships on this show, it just gets easier and easier for me every year to kind of just own my
Mm-hmm.
truth. And I mean, I feel like you'll feel the same way. Every season, it'll just get easier to just be you,
Yeah,
get like
I
more
think it's
comfortable.
really hard at first to like carve your path out. And also, like, it takes a couple years for them to also like fully flesh out your character on the show. So it's easy for
Right.
people to also scrutinize at the beginning before they really know you. And then once you're in a couple seasons, and it's even the small stuff then that they start to put in, like even if it's like things that you do that are a little quirky or weird, but like people get to know you more at that point, and it shows more of who you are. And so then I think you get more comfortable after a while with what's you get more comfortable that people kind of understand you and see your perspective, and you don't feel like you have to work as hard to get people to see that, or like it's not as scary anymore than if you have an argument or somebody that you're going to be like, it's like, whatever, this is who I am, this is my perspective, and this is my deal, and take it or leave it. And you get numb to the haters, you get numb to all, I mean, they're still
Oh,
helping
for
you even if
sure.
they hate you. So it is getting better. You get less. At first it's like all consuming and you obsess about all aspects of it, and as it goes on, like sometimes some problems become new problems, but a lot of the problems that were problems just aren't even problems anymore. It doesn't consume your whole world, which is healthy. It's good.
For sure. I always giggle at the haters too, because it's like they'll say things like, oh, she's boring or she doesn't belong. We don't want to watch her, take her off the show. And I'm like, well, why is every single tweet and every single thing on your timeline about me or a picture of me or a horrible picture of me or whatever you can find that day to say about me? If I'm so boring, then stop thinking about me.
Yeah.
Think about your queen or whoever you love. Stop
Right,
talking
your
about
queen.
me if it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of like, you really can't call them haters because they're actually like, they're in there, they're watching, they're definitely
They're giving
fans.
you,
You know what I mean?
yeah, and they're giving you shot. And if they sat next to you tomorrow, they would be up your ass, and you would be the best thing since sliced bread, and they would like tell everybody about it for 4 months. So, and it would totally change their perspective of who you are if they
Uh-huh.
actually even ever met you in person. So, like none of that even matters, honestly. And honestly, like I get the boring thing too a lot, and I'm like, whatever, I am kind of boring, like, but that's relatable. And so, like, you don't like you don't realize how many people you're actually affecting in a positive way for just being what they call boring, but what is really relatable. And there's
Of
something to be said. Like
course.
there's a lane, like this is an ensemble cast, there's a lane for everybody. And if you have seven table flippers, that's not a show. You need to
Of
have
course not.
the sensational characters, whatever, that's a part of it. But then you also need to have people that are like more substance on the show, and are there just to share their life and their family dynamic that other people can put on the show and say, hey, that's my family dynamic, or oh, I was struggling with that a little bit. It doesn't have to be everything doesn't have to be an affair and a sensational thing. Just showcasing your marriage. If you have a little problem here or there. There was something I remember with Joe, you had a little pain point in your marriage and you chose to share it. I don't even honestly remember what it was, Melissa, but I remember thinking to myself,
Yes.
like, wow, like that's awesome that you guys shared that, because it was such a normal, and you didn't have to share it, but you did. And it's such a normal thing. And that's the good stuff. That's like so many more people out there that you touch, but they're just not on the internet?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I get so many like DMs about all of the family stuff, like within Joe and
Hmm.
my kids, and just like envy, becoming a business owner, like that. All that kind of stuff
Hmm.
is where my fans are at, right? And that they relate to me and they want to talk to me about, and just that's what it's true. It's an ensemble cast for all of these franchises, and it really is what makes the show go around. You have to
Yeah.
have all aspects. You also have to have the one girl that's saying what you're thinking when you're sitting on the couch watching, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's all about who can you relate to. This holiday season, Peloton is your stage to work out your way. I love my Peloton so much. It's just the convenience of being in your own home. You save the drive to and from the gym. There's nothing like it, and it kind of gives you no excuse. Even when the winter's coming, it's about to get cold outside. You don't even have to leave your house to break a sweat. Peloton bike is like my absolute favorite thing these days. The Peloton bike gives you the freedom to move how you want to move, how you want to ride, spin, sweat, and sing like nobody's watching, which we all know I do each and every day. Why not bring a Peloton Bike Plus home for the holidays so that you can work out your way? Have you ever wanted to try a climb, a hit, or a low impact ride class? Well, now you can. Want to hop off the bike and pivot the screen to do a bar, strength, or yoga class? You can do that too. Make yourself uncomfortable in the comfort of your own space. You'll find classes and instructors that'll keep you coming back for more. For Peloton's December offer, head to onepeloton.com/offers. All access membership separate. Terms apply. On Display with Melissa Gorga is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Hey guys, whether you love true crime, comedy, celebrity interviews, news, or even motivational speakers, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue, right? And guess what? Now you can call the shots on your auto insurance too. Enter the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. The Name Your Price tool puts you in charge of your auto insurance by working just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you a variety of coverages that fit within your budget, giving you options. Now, that's something you're going to want to press play on. It's easy to start a quote, and you'll be able to choose the best option for you fast. It's just one of the many ways you can save with Progressive Insurance. Quote today at progressive.com to try the Name Your Price tool for yourself and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. I want to talk about you a little bit with this OC a little bit without Bravo Gods getting mad at us, because I know we can't spill too much, but like, what do you think about the way the last season ended? Like, where do your relationships stand right now with everyone? That I'm curious about that.
Well, I don't know if you saw on like our Instagrams, but we were all actually able to meet up for a holiday dinner, the full cast from last year, and sit at a
Wait, I
table
just saw that
together.
recently.
Yes, it was very recently. It was a couple weeks ago. I give Heather a lot of credit because Heather, no matter what, even during the time when it was like everybody was like mad at Heather, Heather is so good at always being like, fuck it, I'm still gonna be like the connector, and she just doesn't care. And so she's always putting us on like a group text, even if it's super awkward because some people in it aren't talking. And she's just like, okay, girls, when are we getting together for the holiday? I think we should have a holiday dinner. And I I love her for that. But also it's like sometimes maybe we just shouldn't all get together. I mean, it's good that we were all sitting at a table, but I'll be honest, it was literally like there were two different dinners going on. It was basically, it felt like it was me, Tamra, Emily, and Heather at one table, and then Taylor, Jen, and Shannon at the other table. It was very awkward. It was like awkward as fuck.
I can totally picture it. But, you know, I can appreciate that Heather does that because it's actually very professional. Yeah. And what she's trying to do there, which is something that I do appreciate, she's trying to be like, listen, we're a team, guys. We're all rooting for the same team. We're all trying to have the same success on the same show, right? So, like, even though we have our problems, let's get the work team back together. And, like, I do appreciate that. I think she's onto something there. And I do think it's smart, even though that's what ends up happening. Because we just recently, and I won't say who, but one of our cast members started a group text with all of us in it and was like, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And we were all like, whoa, like it was just a weird thing. And, you know, I text back in the group text and said, happy Thanksgiving, but it was just awkward and weird. And then like, some of the other cast members will call me like, why did she put us all together? It's just like, it's weird, but I do appreciate it. You know, it's like, it gets a little weird.
It's such a nice thing. It's in the right spirit. And like you said, it's very professional and it is something we should be doing. And we should have some level of camaraderie about our own franchise.
For sure. What about Tamra? Like, I know Tamra is a force to be reckoned with. How do you get along with Tamra? What's your situation with her? Like, like when she comes back on, she kind of like takes over the room.
Yeah, but like honestly, I never wanted her to go. Like when she did, I remember calling up Alex, like who's the owner of like our production company, and being like, I don't get it, I don't like it, I don't want it because, Tamara, lover or hater, she does carry a lot of weight
Right.
for
Right.
everybody, and also being brand new, like what are we gonna do without her? It's like that was
Uh-huh.
kind of my perspective on it, and then I do think it could have worked, but like then the casting never made real sense. So then I never thought in a million years they were going to bring her back. And yeah, there was like a certain level of like, why are they doing that when they did bring her back? Only because then she started her own podcast. She was like talking crap about us for like 2 years while she was off the show. So I'm like, that feels crappy. But at the end of the day, I also understand that like Tamara was really burned by the whole thing, and also like she it's a hard thing because it's like you have this job, you're made to feel so a part of it. We're a family, a Bravo family, and then one day you
Yeah.
wake up and your head gets chopped off, right? And
Right.
she's like one of the original ones who like helped make this whole thing what it is. So I sympathize with that, and honestly, like I just don't care. I don't like hanging on to things. I just don't care enough to care that
Right.
much. Nothing
Right.
she said was really that bad. It was all like pretty predictable. And I honestly just thought it would be better to have her back than not to have her. I've always gotten along with Tamra. Sometimes we'll get into it, but it's nothing major. And I've always gotten along with her. But I know Tamra's very good at this.
She's
So
excellent at it. She's great
very
at it
good. She's
all.
and she's smart, and she navigates through all of this incredibly freaking well. And I respect that. And I also am careful with that. So,
Yes. Well, that's
I
smart. That's
love
smart. I know
her.
Tamara comes in and she does exactly whatever it is that she has to do, and I feel like
Yeah.
the
And it's
viewers
a
know that
talent.
too.
Yeah.
Wait, what about, I have to ask you about this. Alexis Bellino, is this like, what am I hearing? First of all, are you friendly with her? Because she was before you, right? You were not ever on the show with her.
No, never. And I had never met her. And then I think like just at BravoCon, how they came back on the stage or whatever, I then at that after party that was happening, that NBC after party, I met her and said hi to her, but I've never interacted with her beyond that. And so I don't really know, but I know Heather's very friendly with her, and so is Emily, and they say nothing but nice stuff about her. But and as I don't know anything definite, but I have a feeling we're going to see her for this season,
Really?
and
Really?
I think that's already just hearing it. I mean, and obviously everything's swirling around as of very recently. That's very interesting. So, I mean, it's, if nothing else, it's extremely entertaining. And I like meeting new people. Like I like when new people come in.
You do? Well, are you here for the way like Denise Richards came back this past week? Did you see that on Beverly Hills?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the full thing, but I've watched like all the clips, and I'm definitely here for that because I think that is amazing. Like that is definitely, I mean, that's Emmy shit in my opinion, right there. That was
Yes.
like the amount of memes that are provided from that one scene alone is gold, right? That should be rewarded. I have no idea what that is. I also understand what it's like to walk into these situations, how scary they could be. And once you're removed from it for a while and then you're coming back for something, I have no idea what that feels like. So like I can understand if she had like a couple cocktails before walking into that
All
because it's
right.
kind of scary. But yeah, I'm here for everybody they sprinkle in. I always think it's funny and fun. Like it was cool to have Taylor on for a year. She's a character, and they just add some extra entertainment and spice. And it's cool for me because like someone like Alexis Bellino is somebody from the past, but I've never met her. So it is like cool for the viewers and the fans. And I think it's neat to see like old cast members interact with new cast members. I'm excited for it. Like I like that. And I have obviously zero loyalties to Shannon. So like I don't really care who Alexis is dating or not dating.
I know, I was reading all of that too. I'm actually here for it. I love when they bring back like an old school cast member. And I love that there's girls that she's never met before, like you said. I just think it would be,
Yeah.
I'm here for even the Denise thing. Like, thank you. You're welcome. Like, I just can't, like, I loved the whole, and I can tell that she probably was stressed out work, like before she went. She probably had a couple, which is normal, right? And then when you get
Yeah.
there and it's like you're kind of thrown into the lion's den because everyone's so excited that you're in the room, including the producers. So like you
Yeah.
feel the heat's on you and you just get stressed out. That's the energy I was getting from Denise. Just like, oh, this is going to be a lot. And like, I need to be prepared for this. And, she
Actually,
made that whole episode.
she really did. And now that you say that, Denise's energy coming back in that scene is the exact same energy as Tamra the first like half of last season, because it was the same thing. It was a lot of pressure on her to come back,
Right.
and it needed to be good. And she hadn't done it in a while. And I was so shocked to see Tamara when she first came back. She was actually like nervous a little bit. And I've never seen her like that. So that was like totally new. But then as a result, she was like over drinking because
Yep.
it's like that Denise factor. That's what you get. And like if you only get Denise for 10 minutes, you're going to show every minute of that. Where like with Tamara, you were also then seeing her being, normal during the day or filming with Eddie or sober or whatever. So it wasn't like so crazy, but that's a big part of why I think Tamara came in so hot, because she was like compensating by like drinking because like it was stressful.
Of course, 100. It's obvious that that's what's happening. And I get it. I'm sorry. I get it, girls. Like it is what it
Yeah.
is. I
Yeah.
get it. All right. Wait. Last question I have for you about the OC. Really quick. Do you think it's anyone's last season? Like, are you getting the vibe that it's anybody's last season or that anybody might not come back?
No, I'm not getting that vibe.
No.
I'm not getting that vibe. I
All
think
right.
that
Good.
what happened last season worked well. I think that honestly, Melissa, since I've been on this show, last season is the first season that I was actually like, oh, that was good. And I felt like we were earning our keep as a franchise, and that feels really good. So I can't imagine them wanting to make a change or a shift when you're coming off of something that for the first time in 5 seasons since I've been a part of it seems to work.
I have to be honest. I think it's the best it's been and in a long time. And I think you guys have it down perfectly right now. And if it's up to me, nothing changes. You guys stay and maybe
Yeah.
throw a little Alexis in just for
A little
like,
X-Men, and I would love a
oh
new
yeah.
person. Yeah, I
Yes.
would love another new. I would love somebody also like a little bit. I feel bad saying this because it's really not. I never bring up like the age thing or whatever, but there are certain, even with Emily, and Emily's literally one of my best friends in the world, but she's a little bit older than me, and so like her things that she like geeks out on are just a little bit different than like the things that I geek out on. And so I just
Right.
want somebody more my age so that they get my
I get
jokes
it.
and my it's the generational thing. And like everybody has that except me. So like I would love that. And I'm hoping for that.
1000%. I totally get it because that was me for a very long time on the show. Like a lot of the cast members
Yeah.
are still 10 and 12 years older than me as well, to be honest. So
Yeah.
it was nice when they brought on, I think it was Jen Aiden, who's only like a year or two older than me. So it was like, all right, at least I had, someone around that was like in my generation that I could like go
Yeah.
back. And it's true. Her and I, as much as we don't get along, we love the same music. We both listen to R&B. Like we do vibe the same because we're from the same, the same time frame, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right. So
No, totally. And
it's,
those little jokes like make it more enjoyable as you go on. And honestly, if you weren't on the show, you probably would get along with Jen Eden.
if it weren't for right, like certain things and the TV show and all of
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
anyway, Gina, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy that my listeners got to like meet you a little bit better. I hung out with you a little bit at BravoCon and I thought
Yeah.
you were awesome. I think you're really great. I wish you all the best with family. I know you're starting real estate. You have a
Yeah.
podcast too. Guys, be sure to check out Gina's podcast, Orange Country. It's out every Wednesday. Wait, tell me about it a little bit.
So it's me, and I have a co-host, Shane McAnally. He's a heavy hitter in the country music world. He's written like over 50 number one hits. He also co-wrote Shucked, which is on Broadway in Manhattan right now.
Wow.
And he's also just hysterical. And we just, same as this, we just get together and different topics, parenting, sobriety, social media, all this stuff. And we have on some pretty good guests. We had on Jesse Tyler Ferguson recently, some pretty cool people,
Nice.
sprinkle in a little housewives, of course. And we just have fun. So yeah, that's been a good experience, and I'm excited to keep going with it for sure.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to come jump on your podcast next. We'll have to come.
100%. Yes.
Let's do that next. And let me know when you come out to the East Coast, because we'll definitely meet up for a drink out here in New York.
Yeah, I would
Come
love
to
that.
come to Jersey. I'll make you pasta. Come over for the
Oh my
day.
God, I would love to eat pasta in Jersey.
Yes, for sure. All right, Gina, thank you so much. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, thanks, Melissa. This is so fun.
Social media is exhausting. I mean, I love it. The memes, the drama, the tea. So I started a podcast to digest all that is going on and give you an opportunity to just sit back and soak it all in. The Perez Hilton Podcast. We talk trending topics, cultural reset, and in case you missed it. So if this sounds like your world, your cup of tea, give my podcast a listen. The Perez Hilton Podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hold on to your jingle bells. Pluto TV has all your holiday favorites for free. Enjoy Christmas classics like Scrooge with Bill Murray or Last Holiday with Queen Latifah. Plus, dive into festive channels like Holiday Movie Favorites by Lifetime or Hallmark Movies and more. Download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming holiday favorites on live channels and on demand. With thousands of free movies and TV shows, Pluto TV is your home for the holidays. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.